The sun had barely begun its ascent when I found myself standing in front of the bathroom mirror, toothbrush in hand. The mundane ritual of morning ablutions took a sharp turn when my gaze fell upon a small, inconspicuous business card resting on the bathroom sink. Its presence struck me as odd and out of place. I picked it up, expecting a familiar name or logo. Instead, I found the contact details of a realtor, a name I couldn't recall. Confused, I called out to my wife, "Hey babe, do you know a realtor named Joel Dawson?" From the living room, her voice floated back, "Joel Dawson? No, doesn't ring a bell. Why?" I hesitated, trying to shake off the unease settling in my gut. "I found his business card in the bathroom. Thought maybe we met him during our house hunting days." There was a pause, a moment of contemplation, before she responded, "Oh, that must be from when we were looking at houses last year. Remember? He gave it to us. I just forgot to throw it away." As I continued my morning routine, a nagging feeling persisted. Why now? Why had this seemingly innocent card resurfaced a year later? Little did I know, this innocuous discovery was merely the prelude to a saga of betrayal that would unfold in the days to come. In the days that followed the unsettling discovery of the realtor's business card, my home became an unexpected stage for strangers. First, a Mary Kay representative claimed a visit, then an AC repairman. Each encounter intensified the skepticism that had taken root within me. One evening, after another unexpected guest had come and gone, I confronted my wife. "Hey, about the AC repairman. Why didn't you tell me someone was coming to check it out?" The house felt fine to me. She glanced up from her book, her expression feigning innocence. "Oh, I forgot to mention it. It was just a quick check. Nothing serious." My skepticism deepened and I pressed further. "But don't they usually leave a card or something?" This guy didn't. Her response was a casual shrug. "Maybe he ran out. People are forgetful." Despite her attempts to brush off my concerns, a persistent doubt festered. The inconsistencies in her explanations were too glaring to ignore. The house, once a sanctuary, now felt like a puzzle, missing crucial pieces. A few nights later, as we settled into our routine of dinner and TV, I couldn't hold back any longer. Why all these visitors, and why the secrecy? It's like there's a whole world going on in our home that I'm not a part of. Her eyes met mine briefly, and then she averted her gaze, focusing on the TV. "You're reading too much into it. It's just life. Things happen." The air hung heavy with unspoken tension. And as we turned in for the night, the feeling of being on the outside of some secret grew stronger. Little did I know that the threads of deception were tightly woven, waiting to be unraveled in the days that lay ahead. The days turned into an excruciating cycle of doubt and suspicion. With each passing moment, the web of deception seemed to grow thicker. Deception seemed to tighten its grip on my once trusted reality. Unable to shake off the persistent unease, I decided to take matters into my own hands. One morning, after exchanging a forced smile with my wife, I left for work as usual. Instead of heading to the office, I parked my car discreetly and observed our home from a distance. The rental car across the street provided the perfect vantage point to watch and wait. As I sat in the car, the minutes stretched into an agonizing eternity. A parade of cars passed, none betraying the secrets within my home. Doubt gnawed at me. Was I overreacting? Perhaps these were innocent coincidences after all. An hour passed before a familiar scene unfolded. Another visitor? This time a beige BMW pulled up, windows tinted, and a man stepped out holding a bouquet of roses. My heart raced as I recognized the potential for another piece of the puzzle to fall into place. Unable to contain my curiosity, I whispered to myself, "Who is he? What does he want?" I watched, breath caught in my throat, as the man entered the house. My mind raced with questions. Why roses? What could explain this mysterious rendezvous? As I continued my silent surveillance, my world teetered on the edge of revelation. Little did I know that the truth, raw and unfiltered, was about to unveil itself in ways I couldn't have fathomed. The beige BMW lingered in the driveway, leaving me paralyzed in the rental car across the street. The man with roses in hand disappeared behind the closed doors of my home, a scene playing out in excruciating slow motion. In the tense silence, I mumbled to myself, "Who is he? Why Rosen?" My imagination raced, weaving scenarios of betrayal and deception. Unable to endure the suspense any longer, I exited the rental car, my heart pounding in my ears. As I approached the house, I couldn't shake the feeling that the truth, whatever it may be, awaited me on the other side. Cautiously, I stepped onto the porch, my eyes fixated on the front door. The scent of roses hung in the air, blending with the weight of impending revelation. The door creaked open and there they were, my wife and the stranger. The room seemed to compress, suffocating the air around me. The stranger, eyes wide with panic, clutched the roses as if they were a lifeline. I couldn't contain the rage building within me. What the hell is going on? The words escaped my lips, a roar that echoed through the room. My wife, trapped in guilt, stammered, "Ryan, what are you doing here?" Ignoring her plea, I demanded answers from the intruder. "Who are you and why are you here?" The stranger, trembling, fumbled for an explanation. "I have this business card. She asked for my services." I snatched the card from his hand, my eyes widening at the image it displayed. My wife, half naked, with a website address. The room spun as I absorbed the devastating revelation. "What the hell is this?" The words escaped my lips, a mixture of anger and disbelief. My wife, tearful and defeated, whispered, "I was a call girl before I met you. I'm so sorry." In that moment, the roses wilted, mirroring the demise of the life I thought I knew. The truth, painful and raw, unfolded before me, leaving me grappling with the shards of my shattered reality. The room echoed with the shattering silence of revelation as the stranger clutched the bouquet of roses, my wife draped in an unspoken confession. Time seemed to stand still, a cruel pause before the storm of emotions erupted. "What the hell is this?" I repeated, my voice strained and edged with disbelief as I stared at the business card with my wife's half-naked image. The weight of her past, concealed for years, crashed down on me. My wife, tears streaming down her face, finally broke the silence. "Ryan, I was a call girl before I met you. I'm so sorry." The air thickened with the weight of her words, and my mind struggled to process the revelation. "A tall girl? Before us? How long?" She avoided eye contact, her gaze fixed on the floor. "Since before we were married. I didn't know how to tell you. I thought you'd leave if you knew." The confession struck like a blow, and I took a step back, the room spinning. 3 years of marriage, built on a foundation of secrets, crumbled beneath the weight of betrayal. "You've been cheating on me for 3 years?" My voice trembled, each word leaving a bitter taste. She buried her face in her hands, choking on sobs. "I'm so sorry, Ryan. I never meant for it to go this far." I turned away, struggling to comprehend the magnitude of the deception. The love I thought we shared unraveling in a cruel revelation. Silence hung in the room, broken only by her quiet sobs. The truth, bitter and raw, had been laid bare, leaving us standing on opposite sides of a shattered trust. The life I thought was built on love and commitment now felt like a facade, and I grappled with the stark reality of a marriage tainted by secrets and betrayal. The room pulsated with the weight of the revelation. My wife's tear-streaked face begged for understanding, but the wounds ran too deep. "Why, Nora?" The words escaped my lips, laden with a mixture of anguish and disbelief. "Why keep this from me? For years?" She struggled to meet my gaze, her voice barely above a whisper. "I thought you wouldn't love me if you knew. I was scared you'd leave." My fists clenched, grappling with the turmoil of emotions. "And this man? Why is he here with roses?" She hesitated before responding. "He's a client. I didn't know he'd come to the house. I didn't plan this." The room felt suffocating, the air thick with betrayal, every corner of our once sacred space now tainted by the revelation. The weight of a shared past had shattered, leaving me standing at the precipice of a painful decision. "I can't do this, Nora. I can't pretend everything is okay." I finally admitted, my voice breaking. "You need to leave." Her eyes widened, a mixture of shock and desperation. "Ryan, please." "Settling in? It's too late, Nora. The foundation of trust is gone. I need time and space to figure things out." As she pleaded for a chance at redemption, I reached for a bat near the door, a symbol of the protection I could no longer offer. "You need to go," I urged, pointing the bat towards the door. She gathered a few belongings, phone in hand, and dialed her sister. "Please come get me," she whispered, her eyes pleading for a lifeline. As I watched her leave, the weight of the painful decision hung heavy in the air. The door closed behind her, leaving me alone with the shattered remnants of a life that was no more. The echoes of the slamming door reverberated through the empty house, marking the end of a chapter that had once promised love and trust. Alone in the haunting silence, I knew I stood at a crossroads, the path forward uncertain and fraught with legal complexities. I paced through the now hollow rooms, walls echoing the absence of a shared life. My mind oscillated between seeking legal retribution and the desire for closure. A phone call to an attorney could be the first step to disentangling myself from the legal ties that bound us. Drowning in contemplation, I reached for my phone. "Hello, this is Ryan. I need to schedule a consultation. It's about a divorce." The attorney's office felt sterile, a stark contrast to the emotional storm raging within me. Me, the lawyer, a figure of detached professionalism, assessed the situation, seeking to understand the intricacies of a marriage dissolved by betrayal. "Me, adultery complicates matters," the attorney explained, words heavy with legal implications. "But we can explore your options. Division of assets, alimony, custody, if applicable. It depends on what you want." The weight of the decisions ahead settled on my shoulders. I want a clean break. No ties, no reminders. As the attorney delved into the legal intricacies, I grappled with the realization that the life I once knew was now governed by statutes and legal jargon. Me, the courtroom loomed on the horizon, a battleground for the remnants of a love that had turned into a war of words. I left the attorney's office with a bundle of paperwork, a roadmap for navigating the lethal labyrinth of divorce. Me, the process had begun, a painful journey towards freedom, but the scars of betrayal still lingered, an indelible mark on the pages of my past. Returning to the empty house, I felt a strange mix of relief and desolation. Me, the legal crossroads were navigable, but the emotional aftermath remained in uncharted territory, where the wounds of the heart were far more enduring than those of the law. The hollow silence of an empty home enveloped me as I found solace in the glow of the computer screen. Alone, yet connected to the vast expanse of the internet, I turned to the virtual world, seeking wisdom from strangers who might illuminate the shadows of my fractured reality. Me, posting on a Reddit relationship advice forum, my fingers danced over the keyboard, laying bare the painful saga of discovery, betrayal, and the looming specter of divorce. A community of strangers bound by shared experiences and empathetic understanding awaited to offer insights and guidance. Me, as the responses trickled in, I hesitated before opening the first message. The screen flickered with words of comfort, empathy, and the harsh reality of others who had navigated similar storms. Me, my eyes scanned the screen, absorbing the collective wisdom of a community that had faced the tumultuous seas of heartbreak. One message stood out: "You're not alone. Take your time, breathe, seek professional help. Healing is a journey, and you've just taken the first steps." Encouraged by the digital camaraderie, I responded to a private message from a stranger who shared a similar tale of betrayal and recovery. The dialogue unfolded with words of encouragement, bridging the gap between faceless avatars and a virtual realm. In the midst of the digital exchange, a familiar ringtone pierced the silence. It was her, the source of my pain and confusion. Tentatively, I answered, "What do you want?" Her voice, once a familiar melody, now carried the weight of remorse. "Ryan, I need to talk. Can we meet?" I sighed, the temptation to engage warring with the need for distance. "There's nothing left to say. You made your choice." As the call ended, I returned to the online community, realizing that the virtual strangers had become a lifeline in this turbulent sea of emotions. A digital sanctuary where shared experiences became stepping stones toward healing. In the final hours of the night, the glow of the screen illuminated a path forward. The advice, the empathy, and the collective strength of strangers guided me through the darkness, hinting at the possibility of a future untethered from the weight of betrayal. The journey remained uncertain, but armed with the collective wisdom of those who had weathered similar storms, I prepared to face the uncharted terrain of healing, growth, and the pursuit of a new beginning. Thank you for listening to the story to the end, and if you like it, please support us with a like as well as subscribe to our channel. Write in the comments what you think about the story.